Okay, so good evening, everyone. So welcome to Career Launcher. My name is Naveen, and today we have Mr. Rupen Kohli. So, welcome him to Career Launcher. So, a brief introduction about Mr. Rupen that he has been teaching for the past over 7 years, and he's a pass out from NSIT, right,
Yeah,
sir?
yeah.
And he has done his Masters of Management Marketing from SJM Som from IIT Bombay. That
Yeah,
was almost a decade ago, right, sir?
yeah. Yes.
Okay. So over to you.
Yeah, so happy to be here, and I would love to be a part of this and look forward to seeing the students in the near future.
So, sir, will you be taking the YT sessions, maths and reasoning both, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you think the students should do at this point in time for CAT 2025?
Uh, Depending on where they are, I mean, at what point of time they are in their own preparation. Everybody has their own journey, I believe. So some of them might already have been preparing for a few months, and some of them just might be starting off. So I think this exam is all about the presence of mind and correct interpretation skills. So that is what we are here to do, and we hope to inculcate such skills with our students.
Okay. So, fine. It was nice having you here, Mr. Rupin.
Yeah,
Um, I believe students will be very much looking forward to your sessions very soon.
sure, sure,
Okay.
sure.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, so everyone, let's continue with our series of QuantCat 2025. This is the geometry, the mensuration part of it that we will start today. Previously, we have completed triangles, polygons, quadrilaterals, circles, right? We have covered all of that. So today we'll begin with mensuration. Okay, so the first question of the day is a solid metallic cube is melted to form five solid cubes whose volumes are in the ratio 1, 1, 8, 27, 27. The percentage by which the sum of the surface areas of these five cubes exceeds the surface area of the original cube is nearest to. So what I will do is I'll give you guys a minute or so. So go ahead, give it a try. Let me know in the comment section as to in the chat section basically as to which option do you think is the correct one. Okay, so since this is a question based on ratios and mensuration, in ratios what we always do is we assume whatever proportions we see as their actual values, right? You have been studying with me for over a few months now. You know how we deal with questions based on ratios. So we know that when a larger 3D object it breaks down, the only thing that remains constant is the volume. So if we add all of it, 1 plus 1 plus 8 plus 27 plus 27, which is 10 plus 54, which is 64. So the volume of the larger cube was 64. And the volume of the smaller cubes, those are 1, 1, 8, 27, and 27. Now, the relationship between the edge and volume of a cube is that volume is cube of the edge. So if these are the volumes, then the edges length is going to be cube root of the volumes. So cube root of 64 will be 4. The small cube whose volume is 1, its edge will be 1. That of the next one will be 1. Cube root of 8 would be 2. That of 27 would be 3. The next 27 would be 3. Now, when it comes to the surface area of a cube, it is given as h square. So if we talk about the surface area of the larger cube, it's going to be 4 square, that is 16. That of the smaller is 1 square, which is 1, 1 square, which is 1, 2 square, that is 4, 3 square, which is 9, and 3 square, which is 9. So if we happen to add all of this, we will be getting this as 24. We started with 16, we end up at 24 as the total surface area. So what is the percentage increase in the total surface area here? So this is an increase of 8 over 16, which is 50%. Right? Option B. So it does matter that, what are the edges of the broken down cubes. Right? Okay, let's look at the next problem. Give this a try. So a ball of diameter 4 centimeter, so the radius here being 2, is kept on top of a hollow cylinder standing vertically. The height of the cylinder is 3 centimeter, while its volume is 9 pi centimeter cube. So how do we calculate volume of a cylinder? It's given as pi radius square into height. Height is already given as 3. So this is given as 9 pi. From here, if we calculate the value of r, it's going to be under root 3. So the radius of the hollow cylinder, this is root 3. Now the question asked is the vertical distance in centimeter of the topmost point of the ball from the base of the cylinder is. So basically we are asked what is this height going to be. right? Now, the thing is, 2 is more than root 3. So it basically tells us that this particular ball is going to be a larger one, and its center is not going to coincide with the center of the cylinder top. So its center is going to lie somewhere above it. So this is 2, while this radius is 3. Or in other words, the diameter of the cylinder is 2 root 3, which is approximately 3.4, 3.5 centimeter, while the diameter of that is a total of 4 centimeter. So there is obviously certain height or there is certain gap here, right? So we have to calculate that. Now this entire height from the top of the ball to the bottom of the base of the cylinder, this can be broken down into 3 parts. One part is up to the center of the ball. Then the next one is from the center of the ball to the center of the top face of the cylinder, and then from there until the bottom of the cylinder. Out of all of these, we do know that this is going to be 3 and this is going to be 2. So this is the part that we are supposed to calculate. So let's pick out these points here and let's name them as well. So the center of the ball is, let's say, B, the center of the circle is C. So this is the point B, this is the point C. And we are given that, let's say this is where the ball it passes through. So this is going to be 2. This one is going to be root 3. So what would be this height? This is obviously a right angle triangle. We can use the Pythagoras theorem to figure out the height of this, which is going to be under root or hypotenuse square minus base square, the entire under root. So this is going to be 4 minus 3, which is 1. So under root 1. So this will result in 1. So the entire height is going to be 2 plus 1 plus 3, which is going to be 6. Anyways, this is a theta question. So the assumption that the value is not going to be irrational because we won't be able to type it. It has to be an integral value. Worst case, a decimal value with a 0.5 or a 0.2, but exact, not like non-terminating and repeating decimal, right? So the visualization part, it definitely helps, and it helps a lot when we, try questions in mensuration. Let's try the next one. Take a minute or so. Okay. So the base of a vertical pillar with uniform cross section is a trapezium. So the base is a trapezium. And since it has got a uniform cross section, so the top is also going to be a trapezium, whose parallel sides are of length 10 centimeters and 20 centimeters, while the other two sides are of equal length. So these two are of equal length. So from the top, if we see, we will see a trapezium. From the front, if we see, we will see a rectangle. Now the perpendicular distance, the parallel sides of the trapezium, this one is 12 centimeter. So that is 12. So basically this is also 12. If the height of the pillar is 20, so this height of the pillar is also given as 20, then the total area of all 6 surfaces of the pillar would be. Now, which area are we basically talking about? 6 surfaces here would mean this square at the back. Then we have, sorry, not square, a rectangle, most likely. Then we will have this rectangle at the front. Then we will be having this particular rectangle to the left, to the right. So that's 4. Then we will be having a trapezium at the bottom, and then we will be having another trapezium at the top, right? So it is basically 2 trapeziums that we have, and then we have got 4 rectangles. Let's talk about trapezium first. So the trapezium given to us is that these two are equal, which means this is an isosceles trapezium. This is given as 10, well, this is given as 20, and the perpendicular distance is given as 12. So in an isosceles trapezium, when we drop the perpendicular from the shorter side of the parallel sides to the longer side, the middle component is nothing, but it's the rectangle. So this is 10, this is 10 as well. Now the entire length was 20, out of which 10 exists here. The other two components on either side, they are supposed to be equal. So x plus x should be another 10. So this is going to be 5 and a 5. Now, if you look at this particular right angle triangle, the two sides are known to be 5 and 12. So obviously, this is going to be a 13. Now, let's pick up the rectangles here. So the first rectangle that we will have would be the one at the back, right? Whose one side is 10 and the height given is 20. So this is 20. So this is one rectangle. Then we have a rectangle at the front whose one side is 20 and the height is also 20. So it's basically a square. Then we have 2 rectangles of these type, right? Where one side is 20 and this slant, this particular side is this non-parallel side of the trapezium, which is going to be 13. So the area of this trapezium is going to be half into sum of parallel sides into perpendicular distance between them. The area of the next rectangle is 20 into 10, the next one is 20 into 20, and the next one is 2 times of 20 into 13. So this is going to be 30 into 6. And if you take out 20 common throughout, we will be left with 10 and another 20 plus 2 into 13, which is 26. Now, if you look at the 10th digit, they are unique. Last digit to 0 sabhi ka. So if I take out 10 outside, we'll be left with 3 into 6 that ends in an 8 plus. This is going to be 2 times of 1 plus, sorry, 10 plus 20 plus 26, which is going to be a number that ends in 6. Now 2 into 6 is going to end in 12, right? So this is 56, 112, 1480, right? Solve कर लेते हैं. Let's not go ahead and look at the last. So this is 180 plus 20 times this is going to be 56. Now 56 into 2 is going to be 1120 plus 180. So this is going to be 1300. Okay. Anyone, any doubt here? The height is 12, that's 20, 30 into 6. And oh, okay. One mistake. We are going to have two such trapeziums, right? So it's going to be 2 times of this. So that's another 180 added to this. So this should be 1480. लग रहा था कि it should be more than that. So we have two trapeziums, not only the top, but we also have the bottom. Total 6 faces, we are told, right? 6 surfaces. So 2 of them here, 2 of them here, 4. So this is the 5th one, this is the 6th one. So I added, there were only 5 surfaces. So 1480 is the answer. So if I would have missed one of the trapezium's area, I'll get a wrong option, right? And the very first option is the wrong one. Tricky options. Okay, next problem. If 3 sides of a rectangular park have a total length of 400 feet, then the area of the park is maximum when the length of its longer side is. It's pretty simple question, right? A rectangle will have max area when it is a square. Given that, of course, perimeter is fixed, as in perimeter constant. So the perimeter is fixed at 400 feet, right? Total length, that's perimeter, right? Total length, not one side. So if we have side of a square to be S, so S 4S, sorry, not S square. 4S is going to be 400, so side is going to be 100. So the longer side will be 100. So obviously we cannot say the longer side, because if the two sides, each of them is 100, which one is the longer one? We shouldn't say it that way. But it won't be wrong logically if the word longer is used here. Okay, try this. A typical question on cone. Okay, so let's try. So we have a right circular cone of height 12 feet, which stands on its base, which has a diameter of 8 feet. So this is basically 4 feet. And the height is 12. The tip of the cone is cut off with a plane which is parallel to the base and 9 feet from the base. So this is basically going to be 9. With pi taken to be 22/7, the volume in cubic feet of the remaining part of the cone. So we are asked to find the volume of this particular bucket shaped figure, which is called frustum. So this is going to look like when we remove the upper part, and then we will have a lower part here, the inverted bucket shape. So this is called frustum. Now, the volumes and curved surface area of cones, they are based on ratios when we have such cuts being made. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ratio here. So this is going to be 4 and this is going to be 3, right? 3 into 4, 3 into 3. So I'm saying the height of this large cone is 4, while the height of this small cone is 1. So if the heights are in this ratio, volume of the large cone and volume of the small cone will be in the ratio of cubes of their heights. I know. It's square of the height into the radius or the diameter, but doesn't matter. Diameters will also be in the same ratio because this large cone and this small cone, they are similar. And when things are similar, they all work in ratios. So basically, we can say that the volume of the frustum is going to be, so this is 64:1. So the total volume is 64, out of which volume here is 1. So the remaining would be 63. So volume of the frustum is going to be 63/64 times of volume of the large cone. So all I need to do is figure out the volume of the large cone. So volume of the large cone is going to be 1/3 times pi r square, which is 4 square, into height, which is 12. Right? So this 3 goes away. So we will have 3 as 4. 4 cube is 64. So this also goes away. We will have 63 pi, and pi is given as 22/7. So this is 9 times. So this is going to be 198 feet cube. So 198 feet. Of course, there is a formula to calculate the volume of the frustum, but not really required to do the cube and square and then subtract. We can work with ratios initially, get to a smaller term to calculate it, and only calculate volume of just one of the cones. Right? I hope this makes sense. Right? This is always the smarter and the faster way to go about frustums. Okay, the next one. The area of a rectangle and the square of its perimeter are in the ratio 1:25. Find the lengths of the shorter and longer sides of the rectangle and in what ratio are they? So basically we are told that if length and breadth are the dimensions of the rectangle, the area is going to be L into B. Square of its perimeter is going to be 2 times of L plus B whole square. So if we compare, this is given as 1. This is given as 25, which means this is given as 5. Or we can say L into B is going to be 1, while 2 times of L plus B is going to be 5. Or rather, what we can do is Since we are working with ratios, we can double it so that it becomes easier now. Such that length into breadth is 2, while L plus B now becomes 5. So इसको double कर दिया, इसको double कर दिया. Now, in order to now solve this, we will have to write L as 2 by B, put it there, get a quadratic, solve it, or we can work a little smart and use options. So if I take the first option, 2 is to 9. So 2 into 9 divided by 2 plus 9, is it in the ratio of 2 by 5? No. 1 is to 3. So 1 into 3 divided by 1 plus 3, is it in the ratio of 2 by 5? No. 3 into 8 divided by 3 plus 8, is it in the ratio of 2 is to 5? Okay, so here is the mistake I believe that I have done. I should have taken it to be 4 and 100 and not 1 and 25. So what I should have done was 1 and 25, I would have written this as 4 and 100 because 100 is a perfect square, 50 is not, right? So if 2 times of this entire thing is 100 basically. So 2 times of L plus B is going to be 10, or L plus B should be 5, while L into B should be 4. I hope this makes sense now. Okay. So we need to get 4 by 5 and not 2 by 5. This is not 4 by 5. This is not 4 by 5. This is not 4 by 5. 3 plus 8 is 11. So obviously only one option should match. It should be the fourth one. 1 into 4 divided by 1 plus 4 is exactly 4 by 5. Right? So 2 and 50 would have been a difficult one because 50 ka square root though irrational ho jayega. It will be more time consuming. So 100 would be better. So 4 times basically kar diya. Right? So midway, up to midway, use ratios, and after that, do not solve the equations. I think it will be preferable if we use all options. Okay, next one. Give this a try. Okay. So let's say this is the rectangle in the question, and let's say this is the length, this is the breadth. So the breadth is nothing but the diameter of the circle, right? So in order to make the calculation easier, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this as 2b so that the radius turns out to be b. Length को L ही रहने देते हैं. Now, on a rectangular metal sheet of area 135 square inches, so the entire area of this metal is 135 inch square. A circle is painted such that the circle touches the opposite two sides. Yes, it does. If the area of this sheet left unpainted, so we are talking about basically this particular region, is 2/3 of the painted area. So the painted area is this one, right? So what is the area, the painted one? This is nothing but the area of the circle, right? So which is pi into b square. This is 1/3. So area of unpainted region is going to be twice of it, which is going to be 2 times of pi b square, right? And then we are told कि जो total area है वो 135. So basically we are told 3 times of pi b square is 135. Now the thing is, I will not be converting pi into 22/7 because the options, they contain pi as such. So we will be getting the value of breadth to be 135/3, which is going to be 45. So this is 45 by pi ka under root. So this is what breadth is. Okay. Now, if we know the breadth, we also, this is not b, actually this is radius. Breadth to 2b hoga. So the breadth of the rectangle is going to be 2b, which is going to be 2 times of under root 45 by pi. We are also told that the area of the rectangle is 135. So area of the rectangle would mean 2 times of b into L is equal to 135. We already know the value of 2b, right? Which is 2 under root 45 by pi. So we will be able to calculate the value of length. So from here, the value of length is going to be 135. Root pi will go up and we will have 2 under root 45 here. So we know the value of breadth here, we know the value of length here. We are asked to find out the perimeter of the rectangle. Perimeter is going to be 2 times of L plus B, which is 135 root pi divided by 2 under root 45 plus 2 whole under root 45 by pi. Okay, now the thing is, next step is we will have to simplify this. So we will simplify the length component, right? And as per the question, root pi सब में common है, तो एक काम करते हैं, root pi बाहर निकाल लेते हैं पहले. So if we take out root pi, 2 is already there, right? So we will have 135 by 2 root 45. And if I take out root pi, we will have 2 under root 45 by pi. So there is a pi everywhere. Next is 135 upon root 45. How can we simplify this? So if we multiply both sides by root 45, what will happen is 45 into 3 is what we will get. Okay. So we are given the total area is 3 pi b square, and that is given as 135. I do not see a root 45 anywhere. 135 by 3 is 45, isn't it? Square root of 45 will be there for b. Looks like some. Okay, anyways, 135 by 2 root 45 is going to be 3 by 2 times of root 45 plus 2 root 45 by pi. What we can do is we can take out root 45 also as common. From the options, if I take out 2 common, I'll not have that. So is there any calculation mistake that I'm doing? Area is going to be pi b square. We are told that total area is 3 pi b square, which is 135. B is going to be 45 by pi. Breadth is going to be actually 2 times of that. Length is going to be 135 root pi. That is also perfectly fine. We are told to figure out the perimeter of the rectangle. That is going to be 2 times of length plus breadth. If you take out root pi, I don't know where am I. Okay, hold on. I'll just verify if the options are correct, because I do see that root 45 is missing here. Try question number 8. Give this a try. Oh, it says 2/3 of the painted area. It doesn't say 2/3 of the entire area. Got it. 2/3 of the painted area would mean the total area is 5. So the 45 में से 5 कट जाएगा, 9 बचेगा, 9 का square root is 3. Okay, got my mistake. Silly mistake there. Anyways, let's complete this. The cost of fencing a rectangular plot is 200 per feet along one side and rupees 100 per feet along the other 3 other sides. If the area of the rectangular plot is 60,000 square feet, then the lowest possible cost of fencing all 4 sides is. So basically, we have to break down 60,000 in parts such that fencing का cost minimum हो सके using these. So the lowest one is 90,000, right? So how do we break this down into? So 600 and 100, 300 and 200. Give it a try. This is a question based on maximum minimum of algebra. Lowest 90,000. So think accordingly. I'm not saying that this is the answer, but this is the lowest one. So start thinking that way. Okay, what if ये हो जाए कि 90,000 किसी तरीके से कर ले? If that is not possible, go to the next number. Not possible, then go to the next number. Not possible, then obviously सबसे बड़ा वाला option is सही. So we have a rectangular plot of dimensions L and B. So length into breadth is going to be 60,000 square feet. And then we are told that low cost of fencing करना है. तो cost of fencing क्या होगा? It's going to be, should we prefer 200 rupees for length or breadth? Obviously for breadth, right? So 100 rupees lengthwise, this is the cost of one particular side. We have two such sides. So basically we're talking about perimeters. And 200 times of B. What is going to be the minimum possible value from here? So we can take out 100 common. So we will have 200 times L plus 2B ka minimum. So this is a question based on now AMGM. Yeah, proportions, powers ke proportions means what we need to solve. Powers ka proportion ka matlab hai L plus 2B is, let's say, some value. Then L into B ka value jo hoga, that is going to be half of V, that's the value of L. So L gets one power out of total two powers, so it will get same proportion mein, same share mein V ka value. B gets one power out of two powers, so it's going to be half of V, but then B also has a coefficient 2, so that's going to be 1 by 2 further. And we are given that this is 60,000. We will get V square is equal to 8 into 6, 48. So what is the closest value of V that we can have? 300 and 200, 1/2. How to make it closest? So, yes, the maximum possible value is going to be 60,000. Hmm. 48 ka square root is going to be 6 point something. It's going to be very close to 7, right? So 600 is the nearest integral value. If 600 is the nearest integral value, 4 zeros follow करने चाहिए. 1,20,000 is what should we have? Because we're talking about integral values here, right? And even if it's not going to be integral, still, इसके nearest वाला जो number है, which is going to be a perfect square. I'm ignoring the zeros, okay? So I'm only looking at, because it's going to be a multiple of 200 and 100. It will get multiplied with 100 and 200. So ये होगा. अच्छा, एक काम करते हैं. Let's do one thing. Let's solve this using proper AMGM. I hope you guys are aware that arithmetic mean of any number of numbers is always greater than equal to geometric mean of the same number of numbers. Now, from here, what would be got my mistake. It says ₹100 per fit along the 3 other sides. So 200 would be only with B, and 3 sides will be with 100. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. So if I take out 100, will we have 3L plus 2B ka minimum is what is required. ठीक है. So we have now 3L plus 2B is V. L into B ka value is going to be half of V. Let's not forget the 1/3 part here now. Reciprocal of the coefficient, and B is going to be half of V is the reciprocal, and this is given as 60,000. So V square is going to be, if we cross multiply, this is going to be 8 into 3, 24, 24 into 6, 144, 0 followed by 3 zeros. So V is going to be less than equal to 1, 2 followed by 2 zeros. So basically, iski value jo hai 100 into 1200, which is 12. ठीक है. Okay. One small thing. If the sum is constant, product का max पूछा जाता है. AMGM की बात कर रहे हैं. And if the product is constant, we are asked the sum ka minimum. I hope you guys are aware of this. So since the sum is constant, we are looking at maximum value of product, as in it should be greater than or it should be less than or equal to something. Actually, it is given that the product is constant. So isko hum log, we can treat it as if we are not finding out the maximum value of V, though it looks like it, but we are trying to find out the minimum value of V, because that's a sum here. It's not a product. So 90,000 nahi hoga, 120. Hit and trial, I think, will be a more time-consuming effort. Okay, 2 numbers ka product 60,000. What if we take this to be 300 and 200? 200 को 200 से करते हैं, so that is 40, and 300 को 100 से करते हैं, so that is going to be 900. It is more than 120. Hit and trial would be a difficult one. Okay, let's get to this problem. Let's start from the beginning. So we have a rectangular sheet of metal whose area is 135 inch square. A circle is painted in between, such that the circle touches 2 opposite sides. It does. If the area of the sheet left unpainted is 2/3 of the painted area. So this is the mistake that I made. So if I take the area to be 3A, the area outside is going to be 2A. Now let's use the dimensions. This is L, this is 2B, so the radius is going to be B. So what we get here is pi B square. It is 3 times the area, right? So 2 times the area is going to be 2/3 of pi B square. And their sum, if we calculate this, is going to be 5/3 pi B square, and this is given as 135 inch square. So 5, if we take care of 5, this is going to be 27. 3 goes to the other side. So if we solve this, B is going to be, B square is basically going to be 81 by pi, which means B is going to be 9 by root pi. अब sense बनता है ना? There is no under root 45. Length into breadth is 135. So length is going to be 135 by 9 by root pi, which turns out to be 135 by 9, which is going to be 15 root pi. And let's rationalize this. This is 9 root pi divided by pi. Now, what would be the perimeter of the rectangle in inches? So it's going to be 2 times of length plus breadth, which is going to be 2 times of 15 root pi plus 9 root pi by pi. We can take out 3 common. If we take out 3 common and bring back root pi as well. So if I take out root pi common, I will be having 15. We do not have a 15, so I do have a 5 here. So I take out 3 common, and the only option that matches is going to be option B, right? यही एक वैल्यू है जो मैच कर रहा है. The thing is, we have 2B here. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि वो कैसे आया. So B is that, so 2B is the area. So this will become by 2 by 2. So this will become by 2. So 2 will get cancelled out. 2 will get inside, 3 comes outside. So this is going to be 5 plus 6 by pi. 9, 2 अंदर चला गया ना, so this will become 12. 12 into 3 is 36, and this is going to be 2B here. 2B here means 2 times of that. So I hope it makes sense now. So silly mistake nahi. If you are going to not take the usual length and breadth, your mind will play trick ki breadth to B hona chahiye, 2B thodi hona chahiye, right? So that division by 2 was the issue. Anyways, the moment we get root pi outside and there is only a 5 inside, that's only one option, right? Okay, so 2 tricky questions, the way they were created, the language. Remember, each of the questions are CAT questions here, so you have to be careful. Okay, so Mr. Shashank, QA mentor, he is going to take the next session at 8:30 on 27th of May. He will continue with his arithmetic session. We'll be starting with TSG1. So make sure that you attend this session. And for test series CAT 2025, it's right now under 1,000 rupees, which is curated by IM Alumni. Make sure that you buy this test series. This is the closest to CAT that you will ever get. All India Open CDC mock, it's only 29 rupees. You can compete with students pan India. Register for this. It will be starting from 24th of May. It will continue up to 2nd of June. There are going to be 3 slots, just like how CAT happens: 8:30 morning, 12:30 afternoon, and 4:30 in the evening. There will be a proper live video analysis, predicted percentile, and everything. Jugaad solutions will also be given. A lot of this will be there. So for all of this, you will find the link in the comment section and in the pinned part. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. Thank you, everyone. Please make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share it with your friends. And please like the video. Thank you.